Kogarashi, a broke psychic with main character energy, moved into a super sus haunted hot spring inn for the low-key rent. He was ready to throw hands with the ghost, but she's actually Yuna, a super pretty, nice ghostie who's kinda lost. The inn's whole squad is a vibe, as everyone can see her and they all have chaotic supernatural powers. Now, Kogarashi is on a mission to find the final regret keeping Yuna from moving on. He needs to save her from becoming an evil spirit and getting sent to the worst kind of eternal timeout. The story starts when a man gets to the hot springs town of Yukimuri. Happiness comes with the knowledge that a new life begins here. An old couple spots a man with a smooth face, no eyes or nose, a detail shared with the new arrival, who then makes fun of their tale. The moment the man turns his face, the couple falls in shock because his own face is smooth and blank. Right away, a second man kicks the first, who then disappears. The older couple asks the helper for a name. The helper's name is Kogarashi Fuyuzora. He tells the elders the strange event was caused by a classical trickster monster called a Mujina. The couple thanks the helper. Kogarashi goes to Yuragi Inn, a boarding house that used to be a hot springs hotel. The cheap rent is just 1,000 yen a month, plus 15,000 yen for breakfast and lunch. Even though the rent is low, the place is known to be haunted, which is probably why the rent is lower than a vending machine. When Yuragi Inn was still a traditional hotel, a student's dead body was found in the outdoor bath, and the spirit is still there. Knowledge of the rumor exists, but the man is not afraid of any ghost. Confidence rests in a strong punch which is believed will make any ghost run away fast. Happily, an attempt is made to take the first hot bath. While bathing, certainty is felt. No matter how scary a demon is, it will be beaten hard with strong fists. In the night, a girl is seen taking clothes off. She enters the hot bath. The new resident stares, realizing this person is the ghost of Yuragi Inn. The inn's ghost is very pretty. When she sees him, she starts to panic. He feels sure she is the ghost, and she is surprised that he can actually see her. He says he cannot see her and tells her to hide. She learns he really can see her, and she starts hitting him with trash cans, a rather solid reaction for a spectral being. Falling to the ground naked, only one way to get rid of spirits is remembered. Later, recovery occurs while lying on the floor. Opening the eyes, a lady is found sitting nearby. The events that just happened are remembered. The lady knows the name and has the honor of being the innkeeper for Yuragi Inn. Her name, Chitose Nakai, is shared. She takes care of all the people living there. Right then, another girl enters with a drink. This is Nonko Arahabaki, sitting in a very attractive way. Another girl, Sagiri Ameno, shows up, throwing a knife toward Kogarashi. Sagiri tells Nonko to wear proper clothes in front of a man. Suddenly, a further girl appears out of the blanket, unnoticed until now. This is Yaya, who likes warm places and licks the face. He is surrounded by girls, but soon after they learn the room number is 4, they all leave, letting him be alone. A move is then made to room 204. The room seems very fancy for the price. Fear hits upon seeing a butt sticking out of the wall. The legs of the ghost girl are then pulled. The ghost girl is surprised that he can still see her, having been hiding because a desire to scare him did not exist. She falls onto his face, the classic ghost welcome. After things calm down, both sit together. The ghost girl introduces herself as Yuna Yunohana, a spirit stuck at Yuragi Inn. Finding out he is a psychic makes her ask what he thinks she looks like. He says she looks like a high school girl in a yukata. Happiness comes from knowing he can see her clearly, because regular people apparently can only see a white shadow. The realization comes that he saw everything when they were in the outside bath, which makes her very embarrassed. Seeing him thinking hard, she makes it clear that she has no plan to curse or hurt him. She is basically a friendly ghost. Teeth are clenched because these are more reasons why punching her is not possible. As the clock hits midnight, she plans to sleep in the room. As a stuck spirit, this is the only room where sleep is possible. Surprise is felt that the two will live in the same room. She is very cute even as a ghost. At night, while both are sleeping, Yuna asks if he is awake. Conversation starts and she asks,
"Why are you gay?"
Why he came to Yuragi Inn. He explains that since birth, he has been easy for spirits to possess. That kept causing problems for everyone around him, and he kept getting passed to the next guardian. In the end, possession by a stock trader resulted in a huge money loss, lots of debt, and homelessness. After that, he became a student of a spirit medium. The plan was that by beating evil spirits, a return to a normal life could happen.
You're a victim!
Sadness comes from remembering that everywhere the path led, he was treated as a burden. Yuna is happy about the arrival because no fear of her. This is the first time a conversation has been possible with someone like this in this room, which is why she is happy. He asks about her reason for staying. He shares that the mentor told him the longer a spirit stays, the more likely it is to become evil. So, he says it would be better if the reason for staying was fixed so she can move on before it is too late. While talking, a mouse suddenly falls onto her, causing fright that results in objects moving on their own. She falls onto her bed and her nightgown is almost ripped off. She throws him into the river and right away goes after him to to check if he is okay, confirming that her anxiety is physically powerful and terribly aimed. A strange man is watching everything. The next morning, Kogarashi is very happy because a part-time job and a place to live were found. The town of Yukamori is being explored, deemed a very nice place. Standing alone, he remembers Yuna saying she is very happy he came to her place. Knowledge is known that if she becomes an evil spirit, she will go to hell. Wondering occurs about what can be done. On the other side, she regrets throwing him in the river. She wonders if he is mad at her. She hears a noise and is happy Kogarashi has returned, but she sees a strange man holding a stick. The man is Sekansugi Shouten, a Guma monk of the Gudon clan. He starts casting spells to make her go up to heaven. Kogarashi senses something wrong and runs to her to see if she is fine. Sekan is making her leave the world before she becomes an evil spirit. Kogarashi sees Sekan do enforced ascension on her. Yuna does not want to leave this world as many things still need to be seen and done, and a new friend has been made, so more needs to be learned about Kogarashi. Sekan decides to use all of his strength to make her ascend. She screams as it hurts. Kogarashi runs to her and breaks Sekan's barrier, which stuns the monk. Sekan finds it very wrong to side with the dead. Kogarashi punches Sekan. He sees that she does not want to go up to heaven, but he knows she will eventually go to hell. She knows she needs to ascend at some point, but not right now. Kogarashi decides to help her fix her reason for staying. Yuna starts crying after hearing this. No one has ever said that to her before. He doubts any other rooms cost 1,000 yen a month. She is so happy that he is very poor and wishes he stays very poor forever. He flat out refuses. While about to hit Sekan, a hand accidentally lands on her chest, which makes Yuna furious. In the nice outdoor hot spring, everyone is taking clothes off to bathe. Noise from Kogarashi is heard. Just as bathing is about to start, Kogarashi falls into the river. Anger is directed at him by everyone. Yuna runs there to tell everyone she was the one who did it, but since no one can see or hear her, it makes no difference. That is when Kogarashi thought that maybe letting her be exorcised would have been better after all. They all beat Kogarashi, concluding his disastrous first day with a collective, supernatural hazing. However, Yuna is happy that they will live together in the future. Kogarashi opens his eyes and finds a location in the sky with Yuna sleeping on him. A feeling of shock comes with the realization of the sky, which is rarely a good sign first thing in the morning. Yuna, dizzy, explains that she always moves around while asleep. As soon as she says goodnight, both fall into the water. The next day, Yuna is apologizing for what happened. She promises to make sure to sleep farther away. Yuna and Kogarashi go into the eating room where Sagiri and Nanko are already eating. Sagiri apologizes to Yuna about yesterday. She had been taking a relaxing bath, unaware of the serious danger. Yuna forgives the apology because she had asked to pretend she was not there, having wanted not to scare the new renter, so the plan was to hide as much as possible.
Seriously?
Yeah. Kogarashi was the one who was surprised, as unawareness existed that all of them could see Yuna. Wondering occurs if all of them are ghosts, which makes Nanko start showing her body to confirm being a proper human. Nanko hugs him so he can hear her heartbeat and be sure.
You're teasing me, you naughty.
She finds it adorable that he is so shy. Her body smells like alcohol, meaning she started drinking right after waking up, which is apparently the ogre descendant way to start the day. Sagiri starts to threaten Kogarashi so that nothing strange can be done to Yuna. She asks Yuna if anything strange has already happened. Yuna thinks about it and suddenly the ground starts shaking, which means something definitely happened between them. Sagiri starts throwing daggers in anger. Kogarashi makes it clear that there is no intention of moving out from the rented room, and besides, a promise was made to Yuna to help her ascend to heaven. The others also do not want to see Yuna fall to hell. In the meantime, Chitose comes in to serve breakfast. Chitose informs them that payment for meals can be waited for up to 1 month. 1 day later than that, nothing to eat will be received. A realization is made that she is surely powerful. Even though she is short, the inn's tiny, powerful banker. Yaya is sleeping under the table. After waking up, she comes out of the table. Kogarashi is shocked to see the ears and a tail on Yaya. Chitose, holding the breakfast tray, comes inside the room. They were about to reintroduce themselves when Sekan, the same man from yesterday, arrives along with his army. The Gudon clan has decided to get rid of them. The men with Sekan are confused if they should handle them in a rough way, since all the targets have taken the appearance of women. Sekan allows them to capture the women and use them however they like for their training. They start imagining naughty things with the women because nothing says professional exorcist like workplace sexual harassment. Sagiri throws daggers toward those evil men, using a secret technique to attack them. Yuna tells him that Sagiri is a demon-slaying ninja. Her spirit weapons appear and disappear, and also change their look. Nanko goes in between those men. They are stunned to see a horn on her forehead. Nanko starts throwing them away one by one. Kogarashi is surprised to see her sending them all flying. Yuna tells him that Nanko is a descendant of Shuton Daoji. Yaya goes to those men, sitting in an adorable cat pose. Kogarashi is informed by Yuna that Yaya is possessed by the adorable cat god. Seconds group is completely defeated. Finally, Chitose goes to second. She forms some kind of light which goes into the bodies of those men. They all start receiving calls which are giving them good news individually. The men decide to stop getting rid of monsters and return back to their homes. Second is shocked to see them changing their minds all of a sudden. Suddenly, he also receives a call from his daughter, who apologizes to him because she has finally realized how wrong she was. She requests him to quit being a monk and come home. The whole group goes back without doing any harm to them. Kogarashi learns. Chitose is the caretaker who has been here at Yuragi Inn longer than any of them. She is basically a protective household deity who changes luck. After introducing themselves to Kogarashi, they all welcome him to Yuragi Inn with a greeting. Kogarashi thinks to himself that if not careful, going to heaven first will happen before Yuna, a very real concern when sharing a room with a poltergeist. The next morning, as soon as awakening occurs, Yuna is found lying on him. Yuna wakes up and is shocked to see that his face is under her. She throws him into the water once again. Later, she is again apologizing for what was done. On the way to breakfast, a cat is seen, so it is immediately held and starts being patted. The cat does not like being patted and tries to get away. Yuna tries to stop Kogarashi because the cat being patted is not actually a cat. Suddenly, the cat changes into Yaya, which stuns him. Sagiri is turning red with anger to see him groping Yaya all over her body, even though she hates being touched, making it his second accidental assault of the day. Though an attempt is made to explain, she gives a divine punishment to Kogarashi. Later, they are all sitting together when Chitose receives a request to kick Kogarashi out. To solve the problem quickly, according to Yuragi boarding house rules, they are going to have a one-game match. Yuna informs Kogarashi that terrible bad luck will be received if there is disobedience. The loser has to do what the winner wants. They are going to play Hot Springs Ping Pong. Kogarashi cannot stand ping pong, which frustrates Sagiri because excuses are already being made for a loss. The game begins. Yaya uses paws instead of a racket to hit the ball at Kogarashi. Kogarashi hits the ball beautifully, which stuns them. Kogarashi was possessed by a ping pong coach a long time ago. Because of all the tough training that was not even wanted, a hatred for ping pong developed. However, because of it, enough skill was gained to play at national tournaments, turning his worst memory into a winning advantage. Sagiri also gets serious in the match. A determination exists to free Yuna from the immoral Kogarashi. An attempt is made to assure Sagiri that Kogarashi is not immoral, but Sagiri is not in the mood to listen. They get 1 point as Yuna's poltergeist ability gets activated. Yuna and Kogarashi keep winning, but at one point, her poltergeist ability is not working anymore. It seems like she has gotten used to remembering embarrassing things, meaning she is becoming emotionally resilient to her own nudity. Chitose and Nanko are watching the match with great interest. Sagiri tells Kogarashi to leave the place, but he refuses to do that for Yuna. Sagiri and Yaya start making points. Yuna takes off her skirt to show her body so that her ability can be activated. As soon as her ability gets activated, they win the match. Just after winning the challenge, they are cleaning up the mess which was created. It pains Sagiri to say this, but a promise is made not to try to kick Kogarashi out anymore. However, a warning is given not to do anything to harm them, otherwise he will be kicked out. Yaya and Sagiri are setting up the table, so Kogarashi, being a helpful person, goes to help them, but he slips because of the ping pong ball. He happens to grab their chest accidentally, which makes them all stunned, giving him the inevitable final misunderstanding for the chapter. Kogarashi gets red and tries to explain, but Sagiri does not listen and finally gives him the punishment for doing that. Kogarashi, lying on the ground wounded, was worried about relations with the other residents in the days to come. In the morning, Yuna wakes up and sees the room is empty. Panic sets in with the thought that Kogarashi has left. In her nightgown, she goes out of the room and asks Chitose about Kogarashi. Chitose tells her that he left this morning for the high school entrance ceremony happening today. Meanwhile, at Yukamori High School's entrance ceremony, Kogarashi is excited to see his new high school starting today. He remembers that in elementary school, possession by spirits of bronze statues and anatomical models was frequent. In middle school, he underwent harsh training to be a spirit medium, so the dream of a normal school life was only a dream. He believes the real springtime of life begins today, the perfect time for everything to go horribly wrong. Yuna reaches the school because she wanted to celebrate his start of school. Sometime later, as he sits in the classroom, the first classmate he meets is Satoshi Hoyoto. Satoshi tells him about Chisaki Miyazaki, a very cute girl who was also in their class. Kogarashi is looking at Miyazaki when Yuna goes to see what is inside Miyazaki's skirt. He sees Yuna is about to do something terrible, so he immediately rushes to stop her, but he is too late. Before he could do anything, Yuna lifts Miyazaki's skirt. Because the other students cannot see her, Miyazaki thinks he is the one who did that lame thing. The other students in the class also blame him for lifting her skirt. He tries to tell them it was not him, but they do not believe him. He screams at Yuna for causing this mess, but she was just thinking to change into a school uniform too, as she is able to do it by focusing on an image in her head. He asks her if she is always naked in case her yukata is part of her spiritual body. She gets embarrassed to hear it, and her yukata disappears. She is naked, which makes her ability activate, and the class turns into a mess. The homeroom teacher comes in and is angry to see the classroom furniture messily. convinced that the new kid is a furniture levitating trash. The teacher asks the students to start introducing themselves one by one. At Kogarashi's turn, he gives a short introduction and also informs the students that he is a spirit medium. This stuns them as they hear that everything floating in the room was because of him and the poltergeist activity generated by a ghost he brought with him. He apologizes to everyone, but just a moment later, everyone starts making fun of him as they think he's making up stories. Kogarashi just wanted to apologize, so he did. He tells them to come to him for advice if anyone has any problems with evil spirits or monsters, an offer which no one immediately took seriously. After school, when he is alone in the class, Miyazaki comes to him. She wants to talk about something other than the skirt matter. She tells him what happened while she was taking a bath last night. She believes it is a supernatural event. She also saw her stuffed animals flying around in the middle of the night, which made her very scared. Kogarashi is willing to help his classmate in trouble. He asks Miyazaki to take them to her place. She hesitates to take him to her house because she only intended to ask him for advice. They go to her house and she shows him her room where so many stuffed toys are present. She is afraid of Kogarashi. Anyways, he is carefully looking at all the stuffed toys. He decides to get rid of the spirits from the stuffed toys. As soon as he begins, he starts hitting the stuffed toys, but Miyazaki punches him to stop beating her stuffed toys, proving she cares more about her plushies than his professional opinion. Somehow, nothing comes out of the stuffed toys, which means someone was controlling them when that strange thing happened. He picks up a stuffed toy and tells Yuna to go inside it and see if anything is wrong. Yuna was about to go inside the stuffed toy, but it changes its face, which scares Yuna and causes her power to activate. He flies in the air and falls on the bed on Miyazaki. Miyazaki gets angry and kicks him out of her house. At night, Miyazaki realizes that maybe she was too hard on Kogarashi. Suddenly, her stuffed toys start moving on their own again. They start ripping her clothes away. Meanwhile, Kogarashi comes in and starts punching the stuffed toys. He knows fighting them won't be helpful at this point because the real action is to punch the person responsible. He goes to the window holding the teddy in his hand. A spirit line is formed, which Yuna is told to follow. A spirit line is basically an electric line, the te. Someone with spells can run spirit energy through. However, spirit lines can only be seen when someone is sending spirit energy through them. So, they pretended to leave Miyazaki's house and waited for the culprit to use their spells again. He told Yuna to follow the spirit line from the air. Whenever they saw the spirit line stretching out from Miyazaki's room, he takes Miyazaki outside, although she is not fully dressed but is covering herself. They find the real culprit who is making the stuffed toys move. The culprit throws a leaf toward them, which turned into a monster. Miyazaki is scared beyond anything, but Kogarashi covers both of them and rushes to fight the monster. He uses his immense power to defeat the monster. Soon after defeating the monster, he stares at the culprit. The culprit immediately changes into a little girl who starts crying and asks for forgiveness. She introduces herself as Koyuzu Shigaraki, who came from a village of supernatural raccoons. They learn sorcery when they turn 10 years old and then leave the village to live on their own. She is basically supposed to change into an adult and blend into society, but she is bad at changing forms. She does not have a place to live, so she is staying at an abandoned temple all alone. She saw Miyazaki and put her leaves in her stuffed animals and watched her because she has the big chest that she lacks the most, making her a stalker with very specific body envy. She starts crying to say that when a spirit medium showed up, she figured it was all over, so she just wanted to see her chest last time. Miyazaki forgives her and goes near her. Koyuzu slides the shirt she was wearing and starts staring at her chest. Miyazaki gets red. She is embarrassed because Kogarashi also saw her chest. Well, it was decided that Koyuzu Shigaraki would stay at Yuragi Inn for the time being. The scene shifts to the next day. Kogarashi and Yuna are going to school. Kogarashi is surprised that even though she is a stuck spirit, she can move around freely. On their way, they meet Miyazaki, who thanked him for what happened yesterday. She asks him about Koyuzu, who on the other hand is enjoying the girls' chests. As a thank you, she bakes some cookies for him to have. He cannot believe he is going to have cookies because he was never able to afford those cookies all his life. He gets too happy. She also tells him to say hi to Yuna for her. Yuna decides not to go to school with him, but Kogarashi believes that because of her, he made friends with Miyazaki and Koyuzu in the end, so she does not have to worry about what happened yesterday. Both enjoy the cookies happily. A monster is attacking a citizen. In the meantime, Sagiri arrives and saves the citizen from the hair-eater monster, completing her mission. She is one of the Chuma Ninja Army, a group of psychic ninjas who use secret techniques to carry out divine punishment against cruel, violent yokai who harm humans at night. Sagiri goes to the same school as Kogarashi. Boys are already infatuated with Sagiri because she is pretty and great in academics and athletics, making her a perfect superhuman. However, she has a male-hating personality, which makes every boy in school terrified. Sagiri did not study co-ed before, so she is not used to boys, which explains why every interaction with a male is a high-stakes emergency. Suddenly, she approaches Kogarashi, which stuns everyone. They go to a separate place where she informs Kogarashi, with a lot of hesitation, that she needs to hire him for an assignment. The job is to help her hunt down a yokai. She tells Yuna not to come along because of the danger of the mission. Later, Kogarashi starts to wonder if the mission is too difficult for Sagiri to handle alone. In the meantime, some boys come to Sagiri and start to bother her. Before he could do anything, she takes care of those guys herself, which makes him realize that she is too aggressive and has low tolerance in public too. She came to give him the clothes. After he gets into the clothes, their mission begins. She informs him in detail about the mission and the the recent incidents that are happening. They go to the park, which is shut down at the moment because of various continuing incidents. After using a spirit vision in the Chuama village, it was determined that it is the work of a yokai, which she tells him before starting the mission. Because the victims are always a couple, she asked for his help to lure the yokai out. The victims' clothes are melted by the fog, and they are left naked because the yokai likes to eat pheromone-stained fibers. She has no plan to let go of the yokai that is a danger to humans, and worse, it humiliates women and girls. Both begin their mission. They are searching for the monster, but it does not come out. She thinks the only reason the black fog is not appearing is probably because she is not feminine enough, which is a very ninja-like inferiority complex. He suggests the idea of walking arm in arm because the black fog attacks couples, so maybe then they can be attacked. She agrees to do it, although she really does not want to do it. She grabs his arm violently. Immediately, the fog forms. She goes to find the main body that is causing the fog. She is surprised to see so much fog there, and her clothes start melting down. She sees that Kogarashi blew away the fog with the force of his fist, which makes her wonder what he is. The source of the fog appears there, and Sagiri begins fighting the main source using her techniques. The source explodes, causing a great beam of light, because of which she was about to fall down when he holds her down. Their clothes are ripping apart. She hits him with a dagger because of embarrassment. Later, they both put on their other clothes and go to their home as the mission is finished. A few days afterward, Sagiri was in distress in front of the mirror, probably wondering why her backup uniform was also slightly embarrassing. Yaya is sleeping casually when Kogarashi wakes her up for lunch. She was about to fall down in dizziness, but her cat god saved her, who was supposed to protect her. At the lunch table, discussion happens about the cat gods who possess a human and then give the host various powers. The cat god possesses Yaya because they are friends, and it is usually sleeping inside Yaya. They are all eating lunch happily when Chitose informs them of her leave tomorrow for the Hot Spring Association annual trip. They all decide to split the cooking duties among them for that period. The next day she leaves. Yaya prepares breakfast, which shocks them because it is just cat food. At night, Nanko makes dinner, which is only junk food. On the first day, everyone longed for Chitose's return. The next day, Yuna cooks a decent meal for everyone, which amazes them. As soon as Kogarashi takes a bite, he immediately spits it out because Yuna mistook vinegar for cooking's sake, and cola for soy sauce, a culinary combination that only a ghost could invent. Sagiri gets up to cook something meaningful, but she makes a terrible dish herself later, proving that even ninjas have their weaknesses.
Have you tasted that? It's unedible!
Sometime later, Kogarashi makes a salt-grilled salmon that actually tastes so good. They all finally happen to eat something delicious. They cannot believe he cooked so well. He gave 3 years to learn skewering and a lifetime to grill. There was a legendary artisan who perfected the ultimate grilling technique right as the artisan died and wanted to leave it for posterity. The ghost possessed him for a while and made him train, turning Kogarashi into a certified ghost grill master. They are all so happy and everyone starts appreciating him. In the meantime, Chitose comes back. She sees everyone is cheering him up and thanking him for the dish. The very next day, Yaya is following him continuously. Everyone is wondering if there is something wrong going on. He has no idea what can be done for her. For some reason, Yaya continues to follow Kogarashi around like a very small, very hungry shadow. Frustrated, he goes to the scenic open-air hot spring. He is wondering what is up with Yaya for acting so different. Yaya comes there too to wash his back. He mistakenly turns on the water and makes her wet. She gets angry at his action and starts hitting him with her nails. After taking a hot bath, he is treating his wounds received because of Yaya. Yuna tells him that Yaya is not good with hot water. She even checks the temperature of the bath several times before getting in. He asks her the reason for acting weird since the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday was when Kogarashi cooked for them. He realizes that maybe Yaya wants to eat his grilled fish again. He then makes some grilled fish for Yaya. However, he wishes she had told him about wanting to eat it without following him and doing weird, unusual stuff. Sagiri is standing near Kogarashi in the kitchen. Well, she knows that Yaya keeps her distance from everyone, and she has not known him long, so it was probably hard for her to ask him for a favor. He makes lots of grilled fishes for her and takes them to her in the room where she is sitting. The cat god inside her wants to eat it, so she told him not to put salt inside it. The cat god starts licking him as the grilled fishes are found to be so delicious. Yaya thanks him and also requests him to grill fishes for her too. After that, once in a while, Yaya can be seen following Kogarashi around. They all see her following him and think that Kogarashi is taming her with food, the most effective form of spiritual communication. Miyazaki goes to Kogarashi to ask about the appearance of Yuna as she is very curious about her. She wonders if Yuna is the same age and what her face looks like. She asks him if Yuna is present in the classroom. After knowing Yuna is present, she tries to take her picture, but Yuna does not like her picture taken. Miyazaki tries to talk to her. He feels that it is very difficult for them to talk because it takes 10 years of training to be able to talk to ghosts, which is way more complicated than a foreign language elective. Miyazaki gets upset to know this. In the meantime, Yuna holds the pen and starts writing on the paper. She finds a way to communicate, which is through writing.
Technology! Gotcha.
Both get really happy and excited to begin talking. Later, during the lecture, both are talking again through writing. Miyazaki asks Yuna about her relationship with Kogarashi. After Miyazaki learns they are both living in the same room, she asks Yuna if they are dating. Although Yuna is a ghost, she still finds it weird that they are both roommates. Yuna starts imagining what would happen if they would have been dating. Miyazaki tells her she never knows when Kogarashi will attack her. She is busy talking to Yuna, so she missed what she was supposed to perform in class, for which she got the punishment of staying after school to put away materials. In the social studies materials room, Yuna and Miyazaki are sitting there. Yuna apologizes to her for continuing their conversation during class time. Yuna is very happy. Although Miyazaki cannot see her, she is the first person who has ever talked to her like this, so she could not help being excited. Miyazaki knows that Yuna wanted to examine her school uniform so she can touch her wherever she wants. This is her way of showing thanks, so she tells Yuna not to hold back. When Yuna starts touching her, it feels weird to be touched by someone she cannot see. She takes off her uniform and starts the examination. She feels a bit embarrassed. After the examination is done, Yuna thanks her for allowing a look at her body. She also wants to see Yuna but cannot. Yuna holds her hand and lets her touch her nice facial features. She starts touching her body, which makes her realize Yuna has a good body. In the meanwhile, Kogarashi comes in the room without knocking and happens to see them in an inappropriate position, giving him yet another classic misunderstanding for his resume. They start yelling at him for not knocking the door. Later, they go to the roof where she shows her new uniform, but Miyazaki still cannot see her. Yuna is floating in the air, on which he stops her from floating around so much when wearing matte. Miyazaki wants to take a picture together, but Yuna does not show up clearly in pictures, which scares people. Miyazaki assures her that she won't be scared. As soon as a selfie is clicked, she is surprised to see a vivid appearance. She edits the picture. Yuna touches Miyazaki's hand and writes thank you to her with a finger. Later, they return back home. They see Nonko, who is always there. A girl named Rui Harashima, Arahabaki Sensei's chief editor, comes to Nonko. She gives him her card, from which he learns that Nonko is a manga artist. Nonko takes them to her room 201. Kogarashi is surprised to see so many drinks and alcohol there. Nonko is supposed to finish some pending work until tomorrow, which makes her worried. She only has 15 hours left, and all her work needs to be done. She begs Kogarashi to help her. She decides to not drink any more alcohol until she finishes her work. She begins doing her work. They see her getting pretty rough as she is working on a manuscript, especially before the deadline. In that zone, she always manages to finish her work. Well, Kogarashi, a long time ago, was possessed by the ghost of an aspiring manga artist. He looks at the manga Nonko made, which makes him realize that she is also interested in something other than alcohol. Nonko starts channeling her frustration into the manuscript, but once in a while, she is reminded of reality and gets annoyed. Nonko is too much annoyed. She eats her meal before again working on the manga. She is stuck on an entanglement scene. She decides to take some reference photos of Kogarashi, which may prove helpful to her. She makes him change his clothes. Both took pictures together. She makes him put his hands under her skirt without any embarrassment because they are just reference photos. For the sake of Nonko's work, he decides to do it. He grabs her tightly. She tells him to rip her blouse and push her into the bed. He follows her instructions and does the same. Rui keeps on capturing the photos from all directions. While doing it, he wonders if this is what it means to be an adult, and if all adult jobs require this much hands-on research. Kogarashi was slightly astonished. Rui tells him to also let her take cross-dressing reference photos for the culture festival scene. Time passes and it is midnight and they are not even making any progress on the manuscript. Kogarashi swore to himself that becoming an adult like this will never happen. Later, he made coffee for Nonko. Rui is sleeping. He realizes Nonko has not had a drop of alcohol while working on the manga. He asks her if she really loves her work. Nonko tells him that she used to be a yukai hunter like Sagiri a long time ago. It was like the destiny of an ogre's descendant. Back then, she was a good girl, so she did as she was told and did her best to fight yukai. But one day after she messed up and got badly hurt, she thought about something. She wondered at that time if her life was going to end like this without having done anything. Well, now she thinks what happened afterwards was a reaction. She felt like she would not be satisfied unless she did all the things she wanted to do. While doing different things, she settled on this work. But in the end, maybe she is just running away from the battle. After listening to her, he tells her that he does not feel the same. He asks her if she can hold back for yukai hunting too. However, she does not think she could. Well, 2 hours are left until the deadline. She decides to take a bath and drink after she finishes this manuscript. When Rui wakes up, she has already received the manuscript, so she immediately leaves from there along with the manuscript. Nonko feels like she is going to die. Kogarashi is also very tired and is about to go sleep, but Nonko stops him. She wants him to have a beer with her, although he is really sleepy and just needs a bed and a long sleep for now. She emotionally blackmails him to drink with her, a tactic only a desperate mangaka would employ. She hugs him tightly so that she won't leave until he agrees to celebrate with her. Squeezing him inside her chest, she is physically almost using him. In the meanwhile, the girls come to inform her about her editor, but when they see both of them doing such a naughty thing, they all get embarrassed. Sagiri gets angry and wonders what he is doing to her. Nanko strips her clothes apart, which she always does whenever she finishes her work. Yuna is requesting her to put her clothes back, but Nanko wants all of them to go naked together and celebrate. Little did Kogarashi know that helping out during deadline crunch would become a regular event after that. He was officially promoted to deadline misfortune magnet. Everyone is having their food together happily. The meal is very delicious as usual, all thanks to Chitose. Later, before leaving, Kogarashi tells her not to wait because he will not be back in the evening. Chitose goes to the room and changes her clothes. After wearing a neat and tidy uniform, she leaves from there herself. While going out, she sees Kogarashi and Yuna returning because he forgot something. Chitose immediately hides from them so that they do not find her. She uses her luck manipulation, which causes a wild boar to attack Yuna and Kogarashi. She has the power to control luck and can bring some kind of good luck or bad luck to her target. She feels relieved that they did not see her in the uniform. Well, as a counter reaction, bad luck is generated after good luck because what goes up must come down, especially when manipulating fate. Even she does not know how and when that will happen, so she mistakenly puts her foot onto the tail of a dog. She had no other choice but to run. She is breathing fast after running for so long. However, she's still not ready to let anyone at Yuragi Inn find out that since this spring, she has been going to middle school, where she's probably the most mature person in class. She reaches her school and goes inside the classroom. She sits at her desk. Overhearing the other girls, she knows they just talk about romance and idols. The classmates come to her, asking about her favorite idol. She surely likes Junmaro because of his handsome face. The three girls begin talking about Yamauchi, who looks a bit like Junmaro. Chitose really gets happy gossiping. Well, she thinks she really must keep this a secret from everyone at Yuragi Inn, because if they saw her like this, she would not be able to maintain her authority as the manager. She is doing sports, painting, and other activities in her middle school, which seems to be a very fun part to her. While she is leaving to go home, a man named Tsutomu stops her and asks her if she is having fun at school. He never thought that he would see her as a student at his school. However, Chitose also never imagined that a guy with the missing teeth would one day become a school principal. He laughs to hear it, as he remembers it was decades ago. Not many people know that she is a household protective deity, but the owner of Yuragi Inn and the Hot Springs Association have treated her very well. She believes it is the reason why she can be here at the school at the moment. It has been her dream to go to a school like a normal student, so Tsutomu tells her to enjoy at the school. Later at Yukimuri Mart, Chitose is enjoying a side trip with friends after school. They are enjoying themselves together when she sees some boys who ask them if they want to go to karaoke with them. One of them grabs the hand of a girl. Chitose stops those guys, asking if they are not embarrassed to dress up as lame juvenile delinquents in this day and age. The guy punches one of the girls. Chitose uses the luck manipulation. She saves her tray from falling apart. The guys start bothering them. Chitose gets angry at the guys. She is not letting the guy with the glasses to take her away. She has no other option left other than using her manipulation skill. She uses her misfortune on the guy. Though she does not even know what is going to happen, all that she knows is that he is about to be visited by bad luck. In the meantime, Kogarashi happens to come there, who jerks off the hand of the guy with glasses. Chitose is shocked to see him here because she did not want to let him know in any way. The guys try to hit him, but Kogarashi is very strong compared to them. As soon as they realize they cannot win with Kogarashi, Chitose cannot believe that Kogarashi happening to be around would become their bad luck, and he is also the bad luck reaction for her after the good luck she drew on before. Kogarashi looks at Chitose, who is trying to hide her face. Kogarashi did not recognize her and goes from there after helping them. She gets relieved that he did not recognize her. She realizes that wherever and whenever, Kogarashi is always Kogarashi. Anyway, the time has come that she should return to her usual self. In this world, there are various forms of good and bad luck. She knows this, but she believes that there is no better luck than meeting someone who makes her think that she is so glad they met. Chitose reaches home before Kogarashi. A sweet day off with Yuna occurs. They reach the Yukimuri Hot Springs Yuna wall. Yuna goes in with him. A few days earlier, she told Chitose and Kogarashi about her lingering regrets. She starts thinking about the things she wants to do. Chitose reminds her that she wanted to go to a certain place from before. She gives her a pair of tickets to Yuna wall. Yuna gets too happy to see it. Kogarashi did not know about Yuna wall, so she tells him that it is a hot spring leisure facility that opened recently. She tells both of them to enjoy their date. They are stunned to hear it. Coming back to the present time, Kogarashi seems disturbed, wondering if this is a date or just a really awkward outing. He wonders if this is always a date when a boy and a girl go somewhere together. Yuna asks him the same question, which shocks him. Well, this is the first time he is seeing Yuna in regular clothes. He realizes that Yuna is actually pretty. He keeps on staring at her and compliments her. He does not understand what is happening to him because he's getting nervous. Yuna always wanted to go on a date like this. Kogarashi declares it to be their first date and decides to escort her today. They go inside. The receptionist is surprised that the ticket is for 2 people, but there is no girl with him.
You're fired.
He tells the receptionist that only he can see the girl, which stuns everyone around him. Anyways, he requests the receptionist to let him use it if it is for 2 people. The receptionist allows them to go in. As soon as they go in, he is surprised to see a vast place with lots of people inside it. The place is cute and lovely. It also has a rent bathing suits option available there. They go in. She sees the swimsuits there. It is hard for her to choose what she should wear out of those many cute options. She sees a couple there in which the guy was choosing for his girl, so she asks Kogarashi if he would like to choose for her too. He is not interested, but just for her happiness he chooses a random one. She turns red to see that he prefers the ones using not too much material. He looks at the set he chose himself and gets stunned. He tries to explain to her, but Yuna changes into that attire because he chose it for her. He makes such a horrible face because it makes such an impact that he cannot look at her directly, but she put on the one he requested, so he thinks it would be wrong to look away. Yuna starts getting embarrassed and could not wear that thing for too long, so she changes it. She then wears a very cute pink lingerie. Kogarashi also likes it so much. Well, now he is confused about what people do on dates because he has never been to one. Yuna explains him what couples do, like they share special drinks and feed each other and take photos. He decides to do everything for her sake. So, they go to buy a lovely-dovey tropical special drink, but because it is only for couples, the girl at the counter denies to give it to him. Later, he wants a dish which is also especially for couples. They then go to the photo booth, but this is also for couples, so they are not permitted to go in. After getting disheartened, they go to sit aside. She feels too bad and blames herself for being a ghost, which is why they could not experience anything. Well, she sees a water slide and wishes to try it. They both go to take the water slide. Yuna takes the water slide. She has so much fun doing it, but suddenly her swimsuit slips away. She gets naked. She doubts that she must have underestimated the intensity of the slide. With the speed of light, he collides with Yuna and gets to see her chest touching his body directly. Both fall in the water. Yuna's power gets activated, which causes a commotion in the hot spring and disturbs the peace. Sometime later, Kogarashi finds himself lying on the ground as soon as he opens his eyes. She gets too relieved to see that he is finally awake. He is present in the Uniwall resting lounge. The staff carried him here. She says sorry again. He happens to see the time, which is too late. He sighs because in the end, he did not even get close to finding a clue about Yuna's lingering regret. Well, it is almost closing time, but she asks him if they can go to one more place before going back. They both go to a hot spring where she sits beside him. She finds it a bit strange to take a bath with him. Well, he cannot also relax, but he is willing to do it for Yuna's sake. Yuna thanks him for what he did for her today so that she can ascend to heaven. She appreciates the sentiment, but she tells him not to force himself into doing so. She wishes to come back to Uniwall, but with the usual Kogarashi. When he thought about Yuna ascending to heaven, he felt a little sad, and he realized that for the first time, a long-haired man is standing alone when 2 girls approach him to ask if he can take pictures of them. He considers it women picking up men. He grabs both of those girls and decides to add both of them to his collection of concubines. A white-haired man named Oboro hits the long-haired man, who is Lord Genshiro, to stop him from acting shamefully. Those girls run from there to save themselves. Oboro tells Lord Genshiro that those girls were not worthy of being his wives anyway, but Genshiro knows that there are not many beautiful women possessing strong spiritual powers. The scene opens where Yuna is sleeping while hugging Kogarashi. He gets confused to see her again with him, but this time he decides not to wake her up. Well, his leg is stuck on something, like trying to pull off a sticker that's fused to him. He soon realizes his leg is inside Yuna. All of a sudden, Yuna wakes up. As soon as she wakes up, she gets shocked to see herself in that condition, which makes her shout. Her power gets enabled, and she again kicks him out of the window. So, basically, today was another failure, but at least he got airborne again. Later on, at the dining table, everyone eats breakfast except Yuna, who is feeling a bit down because she tossed Kogarashi into the river again. She decides to jump in the river herself to balance the score. Sagiri stops her from doing this. Yaya promises to teach her the cat god's secret landing method, so she thanks Yaya. However, she is feeling terrible about doing it again and again to Kogarashi. Yaya notices that Yuna has changed since Kogarashi has come here. They all also think the same as Yaya thinks. Well, it is getting usual that every morning is noisy. Nanko comes there and starts teasing Sagiri that someone has stolen Yuna from her. She tells Sagiri to take good care of her. Sagiri gets frustrated with Nanko. On the other hand, Kogarashi is having his breakfast. Yuna goes to him with soy sauce for him. Koyuzu is very envious of them because they wake up daily like a couple, though he does not want a wife who throws him into the river every morning. Anyways, the conversation goes on when he learns that Koyuzu is going to run her first errand and Yuna is going with her. He wishes both of them the best of luck. On the contrary, Oboro and Genshiro are walking together in search of a decent wife for Genshiro. Genshiro is grabbing every girl he sees in the way, like a child trying to catch all the Pokemon.
Stop it. Get some help.
But Oboro keeps on hitting Genshiro every time he does a foolish thing in public. In the meanwhile, he sees Koyuzu, who has hidden her ears and tails and seems like a little girl. Genshiro starts blushing looking at her. He immediately runs to her and asks her about her name. Koyuzu was about to answer him, but Yuna stops him from talking to a stranger. Koyuzu finds sense in what Yuna says, so she decides to run from there. Genshiro stops them from running. He is able to see Yuna, and the one he was talking to was Yuna, not Koyuzu. Yuna is surprised to know this. She tells her name to him. Genshiro grabs her hand and tells her that her name is nice. Her poltergeist power gets activated, which makes Genshiro fall in the river. Genshiro gets too impressed by her spiritual power. Yuna sees scales on Genshiro's body. Genshiro starts showing them his powers. A strong light starts showing up. Both girls see soaked clothes became dry in an instant. A laundry miracle, really. He jumps back on the ground to Oboro and asks him if he approves her to be his wife. After taking Oboro's approval, he asks Yuna to be his bride. Yuna gets stunned to hear it. She cannot be his bride because she is a bound ghost. However, he knows she is very powerful as she has been existing in this world for a prolonged period of time, which is basically proof of it. He holds her in his arms to take her to his castle to begin the preparation. She is shocked to hear it and uses poltergeist, but this time it does not work on him. Koyuzu starts shouting at Genshiro that he cannot do it because she is already Kogarashi's bride, which stuns Yuna. She makes it clear that they are not what is being thought. Genshiro gets curious of him. She tells him that Kogarashi is the one who lives with her in the same room, and every night they happen to do so many things, making it sound like a soap opera. He starts imagining in his mind what they would be doing every night. Yuna tries to make it clear that it is not entirely inaccurate, just mostly about accidental assault. He gets angry hearing it, but still decides to take Yuna back to the castle immediately. Koyuzu attacks him, but Oboro protects him by blocking that attack. He knows she is a raccoon child, which surprises her. He is about to hit Koyuzu, but Yuna shouts at him not to do anything to her, so she will go quietly with them. Oboro makes a black hole in which Genshiro takes her. Koyuzu tries to stop them but fails. However, she assures them that Kogarashi will rescue Yuna back. Before leaving, Oboro suggests Koyuzu to tell Kogarashi not to throw away his life because no human stands a chance against his master. Genshiro is the Black Dragon God, the divine spirit that rules over Ryuga Lake in Shinano. Yuna is helpless in front of him. With tears in her eyes, Yuna goes with them as she has no option left. On the other hand, Kogarashi is walking with Sagiri to home in the evening. On their way, they see Koyuzu alone while crying. Sagiri asks her the reason why she is crying. Genshiro is carrying Yuna in his arms and goes back home. The people are seeing him with a girl. He tells them she is going to be his wife. They are all happy to begin the preparations for their wedding. On the other hand, Koyuzu is crying heavily. She explains the whole matter to them. Kogarashi decides to go save Yuna. Sagiri informs him about Genshiro, who is classified as a god, and tells him that even if her entire clan banded together, they still do not stand a chance against him. Also, Yuna is a ghost, which makes it impossible to help her as a member of the Chiwuma ninja clan. He decides to go along with Koyuzu if Sagiri is not coming, but Sagiri makes up her mind to go help Yuna as her friend. The three of them leave immediately. On the other side, Yuna is sitting on the bed wearing a nightgown. Genshiro forces her to show him a fitting appearance as his wife. She gets into a gym uniform, which Genshiro finds too good, which makes him cry. She has no idea what he is trying to do. She then makes herself wear different clothes. He feels she looks lovely in every attire. Oboro comes there and hits Genshiro to stop him from doing stupid things, because Yuna has to learn about being a wife before the wedding. Yuna does not want to marry him. He informs her that she will not be permitted to leave for all eternity as Genshiro's wife. She does not love him, so she is not willing to marry him. Oboro asks her if she has a special relation with Kogarashi. She tells him the truth. It is nothing like this. She just threw him into the river every morning, so she thinks maybe she is a jinx for him. Listening to her, he tells her to marry Genshiro for Kogarashi's sake, which is terrible relationship advice. On the other hand, the three of them reach an end, which Sagiri breaks with her dagger, and it happens to be a barrier. With the torch, they keep on moving until they reach the Black Dragon God's castle, Ryuga Castle. The overhead illumination is from Surubebi, which is the monster. They all decide to make some preparations before going in. She changes her appearance as she learned a new skill called Spirit Close Barrier, which takes on all kinds of damage instead of her. Sagiri decides to move alone and slip inside because she knows even if he gets Yuna, the Dragon God would probably try to take her again, so something has to be done. While they are planning how to take Yuna back, one of a guard hears them talking. The three of them immediately become quiet. Sagiri's body is touching Kogarashi, who can feel every inch of it. All of a sudden, Koyuzu sneezes at the most dramatically silent moment. Sagiri attacks the guard who heard them so he cannot tell anyone about their presence. She tells Kogarashi to do something to attract the Black Dragon God's attention. Along with Koyuzu, she goes ahead. Kogarashi is seeing Sagiri's techniques, which are making him so impressed. Kogarashi goes in front of everyone and starts calling Genshiro out. He starts insulting and mocking Genshiro. The guards catch him and bind him in ropes. They present him to Genshiro. He asks Kogarashi if he has anything to say. Kogarashi tells him to return Yuna. At the same time, Sagiri is finding Yuna so that she can take her back. Genshiro asks Kogarashi what he should do with him. Kogarashi gets straight to the point and asks Genshiro how he can marry Yuna, who is a ghost. Genshiro laughs hearing him. He explains that since ancient times, children have been born of couplings between dragons and other races, so what is necessary is a spiritual genetic soul, and whether there is a physical form or not is a trivial issue. Now it is Genshiro's turn to ask, so he asks Kogarashi how far he went with Yuna, since they spend naughty time with each other at night. Kogarashi gets shocked to hear what is being said. He wonders if Genshiro is worried that he and Yuna have been romantic, like a nervous dad meeting his daughter's new boyfriend. He comes up with an idea to buy some time and lies that they have not done any kissing, but cannot deny that they have done everything except it. This makes Genshiro Genshiro mad to hear it, and he cannot get relaxed. Yuna heard Kogurashi's voice and cannot believe he came to save her from Genshiro. In the meanwhile, Sagiri jumps into the room where Kogurashi is present. Yuna realizes that Sagiri is also there and does not understand why they came here to save her, knowing that it is very dangerous. Sagiri tells her that they are not heartless and could not turn a blind eye when they knew she was in danger. She is not planning to fight Genshiro, so she is about to tell her plan to Yuna, but before she could, she got badly hit from behind. Her spine should be shattered, but she is still fine, which means that she is using a spirit close barrier to absorb any damage. Yuna lets Koyuzu run out while Sagiri begins fighting Oboro. She could not land an attack on Oboro, however. Oboro succeeds in hitting her again. On the other hand, Genshiro decides to torture him so that he can tell him what he did with Yuna and what was meant by that statement. He orders his guards to start placing the stones. Just by then, Oboro comes there with Sagiri. However, Koyuzu is missing for now. Oboro tells Genshiro that Sagiri seems to possess much spiritual power, so she thought that she would make a good concubine for him. Genshiro stares at her body and immediately approves her by looking at her charming body. Sagiri whispers to Kogurashi to retreat because she was helpless even in front of the eye patch wearing attendant, who seemed to have forgotten the attendant part of his job. She realizes that she was right before, that they should not fight with these beings. Yuna begs him to let the others go home and says she will do anything. She decides to marry into the Ryuga clan for their sake, so she requests them to go back home. She has tears in her eyes. Kogurashi decides to answer Genshiro's question related to him and Yuna. He tells him that they were so close that they used to take baths together. His statement not only stuns Genshiro, but Sagiri and Yuna too. Genshiro gets enraged and is overflowing with power. He kicks Kogurashi, who goes high in the sky and then falls down from an extreme height like a discarded frisbee. Sagiri knows he cannot be saved from that. Genshiro wonders if he killed him. Yuna starts crying, but suddenly she sees him standing on his feet, which shocks everyone. Genshiro recalls that he is some kind of spirit medium. He again tells Genshiro to let them go, otherwise he will take them home by force. Genshiro starts laughing to see Kogurashi's confidence, although he is just a human and does not stand a chance against the dragon god. Genshiro's guards also start making fun of him. Genshiro tells Kogurashi that he will hold a wedding ceremony and then he, Yuna, and Sagiri will spend the bridal night together. Kogurashi punches Genshiro, which makes him fall far away. He was once possessed by the ghost of a ridiculously powerful spirit. He was forced to be their disciple, but thanks to that, he acquired the strength to beat that master. The only thing he cannot punch is women, which is a surprisingly gentlemanly restriction for a powerhouse. Oboro cannot believe what just happened. She remembers a past memory when she was told that she was given life from the Lord and should think of the lady as her own child. The lady told Oboro to make the Ryuga clan stronger for Genshiro's sake. She promised the lady to accomplish that. Kogurashi, after taking care of Genshiro, goes to Oboro to free Yuna and Sagiri. Oboro decides not to give him Yuna or Sagiri. She tells the guards to leave Kogurashi to her and orders them to tend to Genshiro. Oboro gives Kogurashi a serious slashing attack, but she sees that it did not take off even a single layer of skin, which makes her realize that Kogurashi is very tough, like old leather. Oboro was born from the tail of the previous black dragon god and is the blade of protection, the god blade. Kogurashi gathers his power and starts hitting her. Oboro realizes he is very strong, as a single blow from him destroyed the multi-layer force field surrounding Genshiro. She knows that if she gets hit with one, it would probably defeat her. However, she still believes she has some chance of winning. One of his attacks hits Oboro, her chest comes out, and the news breaks that she is not a guy but a girl disguised as a girl. She reminds Kogurashi that he cannot hit a woman. She is very angry at Kogurashi because she believes if he had not come in, her clan would have been very strong. She keeps on hitting him, but he continues taking her attacks with ease. Suddenly, Koyuzu brings Nanko along with Yaya there. Nanko is carrying a drink in her hand as usual. However, she stops Oboro from hitting Kogurashi. Oboro is surprised to see that she stopped her blade with a bare hand. They immediately left home after they got a word from Sagiri. However, they did not bring Totose with them because she is a household deity and has the power to manipulate luck and can bring good fortune to her target as well as bring on misfortune too. But because dragon gods are deities that can control water and rain, if misfortune happens to a deity like that, the damage is likely to extend to the people living in that area too. Well, they were surprised to see the enemy boss go flying because they did not realize Kogurashi was this strong. Anyways, Nanko tells them to go home because Chitose is waiting for them. Oboro denies to let anyone go home as she plans to make them all the bride for the Ryuga clan too. She believes she will do it as it is best for her clan. Kogurashi suggests her to calm down and think. He decides to be her opponent if she still believes that fighting is the best option. She remembers the promise she made in the past to stop at nothing in order to make the Ryuga clan stronger. She realizes there are other options besides fighting and making them obey. Fighting against a man who can defeat Genshiro is pointless. However, she does not know if Genshiro will be convinced. Kogurashi has already thought of a strategy in his mind. The scene changes where Oboro is waking up Genshiro. After he regains his consciousness, he asks her about Kogurashi. She tells him that one punch from him ended up vaporizing him. He is stunned to hear because he seemed to recall getting hit. She acts in front of him the same way as Kogurashi told her to. She shows him Yuna and Sagiri who are saying goodbye to him. He does not understand why both the girls are saying goodbye to him. She tells him that after he fell in love with them them at first sight, they felt so fulfilled that they are ascending to heaven. He is so shocked to hear it, like a bad sequel was confirmed. Poor Genshiro has no idea what the real matter is. Basically, Koyuzu's magic created replicas of them, making it look like they were ascending. Everyone is appreciating Koyuzu for her great work. Genshiro starts crying to know Sagiri was a human ghost too. When their hearts are filled with his affection, it is no wonder they will go to heaven. So he thinks that maybe he is fated to not take a ghost wife. He bought the lie. Well, Yuna honestly tells Kogarashi that a part of her thought of becoming his bride because she is always causing him trouble. He assures her that this is not true because if it were true, he would not have come down here. In fact, he apologizes to her for the strategy, making it seem like she would be satisfied so easily and go to heaven. He reminds her what he said before, that he will make her happy. She thanks everyone for coming to save her. On the other hand, because Kogarashi's power even exceeds Lord Genshiro's, Oboro cannot let this go. She swears to take him down one day. The scene changes to Chitose, who has been waiting for them for so long. The door opens and they all get back to the house. The next morning, Kogarashi wakes up and opens his eyes. As soon as he wakes up, he finds his hand on something very soft and nice to touch. He gets nervous to wonder if Yuna is in his futon again, but he realizes it is not Yuna, but Oboro. He gets red like a tomato. Oboro knows her chest is not as fine as Yuna's that he is used to, but she asks him if he thinks they have their own charm. Kogarashi has no idea what she is doing here. Yuna also gets panicked to see her in the room. Oboro actually came to have a child with him who will be a strong warrior in order to make the Ryuga clan even stronger. She believes it is the best way for her. Yuna and Kogarashi cannot believe what she just said. In this way, Kogarashi's seeds of troubles increased again because apparently one set of problems wasn't enough. Miyazaki is standing outside Yuragi Inn. She knows this is the place where Yuna and the others live. It used to be a hot springs inn, but it went out of business because it was haunted. Even after that, people said things like seeing a ghost and a monster cat. She knows this area is a famous haunted spot, but when she thinks about it now, that rumored ghost must have been Yuna. Well, she is still a little scared. She remembers she asked Yuna if she could visit her at Yuragi Inn. Because she has already promised Yuna to come, she has to go now, and also, she wants to know what it is like for Kogarashi and Yuna to live in the same room. She makes up her mind and opens the door. As soon as she opens the door, she sees Oboro and Kogarashi in an indecent position, which makes her angry. Kogarashi gets confused. He tries to explain to Miyazaki and tells her that Oboro suddenly jumped on him from his blind spot and knocked him over. Oboro puts on her clothes and leaves. Koyuzu happens to see her and gets really happy. She hugs her tightly. She asks Miyazaki if she can see her chest once again. Miyazaki laughs to hear it. Anyways, she tells Koyuzu about the plan for her and Yuna to go in the open air bath, so maybe then she can get to see her chest. Yuna also comes there, welcoming Miyazaki. She is holding a textbook on which she has written, "Welcome for Miyazaki." Sagiri sees Miyazaki and gets really impressed by her. She starts wondering if the gap between them is due to femininity. Kogarashi puts on his shoes and is about to leave to buy one new uniform. He bids farewell to them and leaves. Yuna is introducing everyone to Miyazaki. Everyone is feeling very nice to meet her. When Miyazaki hears Nanko's name, she tells her that she has the same name as one of her favorite manga artists that is published in Monthly Marmalade. Nanko tells her that she is the same person. Miyazaki cannot process this information. Nanko offers her to come visit her studio and stay a night. Yuna also forces Miyazaki to stay over. Miyazaki accepts the offer and decides to have a sleepover. Chitose stands up to make dinner, but Miyazaki also offers to help her with dinner because she cannot accept their hospitality without doing anything in return. Miyazaki's specialty is Italian food, so she makes very tasty Italian fish. Yaya, after tasting her Italian fish, gets tamed, just like when she got tamed after tasting Kogarashi's grilled fish, only this time it's pasta sauce. Sagiri is getting impressed by Miyazaki's wonderful sense of fashion. She realizes that Miyazaki is good at everything, which makes her wonder if she is a feminine monster. Yuna and Nanko get what Sagiri is thinking, so they try to relax her and assure her that she is also a wonderful girl. Later at the scenic open-air hot spring, they all go to take a hot bath. Miyazaki is so excited to take the hot bath, she wishes to take it daily. All the girls get inside the hot spring. A bizarre phenomenon happens at one side, which makes Miyazaki know that Yuna is the one who is present there. Everyone is praising Miyazaki because she is attractive. Oboro is listening to them quietly. She goes to Miyazaki as she wants advice on how to get Kogarashi. Miyazaki remembers Oboro is the same girl she saw sitting on Kogarashi. Well, she basically does not have much idea, but she knows forcing her body on Kogarashi may not be the right way. Oboro makes it clear to her that she does not love Kogarashi, she just wants to have his child. Her main objective is bringing Kogarashi's vast power to the Ryuga clan without becoming his spouse. Miyazaki gets shocked to hear this and could not understand that she wants to be his mistress, which is apparently a valid career path for a ninja. Sometime later, they all lie down to sleep. She is surprised to know Yuna sleeps on a futon. Yuna tells her to touch her. She tries it, and this time she can feel Yuna. It feels so good touching her as her skin is so soft. She mistakenly pressed her chest. Koyuzu asks Miyazaki to tell her about her romances as she is really popular. She refuses as she does not have anything like that. She asks both of them to tell how to bewitch a man. They hesitate to discuss this topic with her because she is still a child. She takes out her leaf and transforms into an adult. Well, they have no idea about the answer, so they cannot help her. Koyuzu tells them that Nanko has taught her a lot of things, so she asks them if they would actually model them for her. Yuna and Miyazaki agree to that. She shakes her leaf and lets them act one by one. She shakes the leaf again. Yuna and Miyazaki are lying on the bed. They both allow her to do whatever she wants to do with them, which makes her too happy. She thanks both of them. Koyuzu tells Yuna to try the same thing with Kogarashi, as he will love it. In this way, the night wore on at Yuragi Inn. During the night, she wakes up as she feels something is sitting on her. She wonders if it is sleep paralysis. She touches the thing that is on her. She wonders if this is Yuna. She cannot believe this is Yuna. She cannot see her, but she puts her aside and lies down again. Closing her eyes, she goes back to sleep. However, she is very surprised that Yuna does the same with Kogarashi every night. In the meantime, Kogarashi also comes there to sleep, although he was supposed to be working until tomorrow. Miyazaki goes inside the blanket. She gets tomato red to realize Kogarashi is lying next to her. She decides to explain the situation to him and go to sleep in another room, but as soon as she moves her face, she finds out he is already asleep. She wonders if she has to sleep like this. Kogarashi turns aside toward Miyazaki. Their faces are so close to each other. She remembers the time when she misunderstood him and he turned out to be a very kind person. She has no idea why she is thinking. She tries to get out, but Yuna is holding her while sleeping. Yuna is rubbing her chest. She mistakes her for Kogarashi. She is stuck in a big problem. Kogarashi, in sleep, mistakenly pulls off her blouse. She falls on Kogarashi's face without her shirt. She tries to escape from there. Kogarashi holds her by her underwear. In the meantime, Koyuzu happens to open her eyes. She sees Miyazaki naked. She thinks that it is her dream, and so she can do anything she wants. She goes toward Miyazaki and grabs her chest. Miyazaki immediately goes backward and falls on Kogarashi's face again. Kogarashi wakes up. She gets panicked to think what she should do because he is woken up and her body is naked, but she knows she cannot pull her panties because he would know she is awake. She starts crying to think Kogarashi will misunderstand her. Now there are two nearly naked girls in front of Kogarashi. Kogarashi puts a blanket on Miyazaki without seeing her body and lays back to his place. Oboro comes there and sits on Kogarashi. She takes off her shirt. Kogarashi is screaming at her. Oboro tells him that it is the night they should make a baby. She goes near him to kiss him. Kogarashi stops him from doing such things and refuses to do anything with her. She asks him the reason. He takes a deep breath. He tells her that he is not going to do anything with a woman he is not in love with because he can only do such things with the girl he seriously loves. Oboro realizes he is extremely pure, a saint in a ghost medium's body. Oboro leaves his room so that they will do it when he falls in love with her. The next morning, Miyazaki hugs everyone before leaving. Before going, she borrows Yuna's notebook and writes something on it. No one knows what Miyazaki wrote on the notebook. However, she suggests Yuna to refrain from clinging to people so much when she is naked and half asleep. Otherwise, she might even get Kogarashi in the mood someday. At Umeo Municipal Yukamuri High School, the students negotiated with the teachers, and it has been decided that they can wear what they want. The students are happy to hear this, except Sagiri. She doesn't know what kind of swimsuit she should wear. A student, Urara, sitting near her, asks her if she wants to go shopping with her in case she is worried. Sagiri decides to wear the school swimsuit, but Urara starts giving her reality checks that she would be embarrassed even before getting into the water, which, for a ninja, is a fate worse than death. After listening to her, she makes up her mind to get a new swimsuit. Urara tells her to invite Kogarashi too, because they need a boy's opinion. Urara reminds her that she cannot ignore a human who defeated a deity class with one blow. Sagiri recalls how Kogarashi defeated Genshiro. Urara wants to form a cooperative relationship with Kogarashi. At night, Yuna informs Kogarashi about the trip in which he will be swimming in the sea, enjoying a campfire, and at night, talking about the person he likes. However, Kogarashi has never enjoyed any school trip before. He remembers his past experiences. Once on a ski trip, he was forced to march with a ghost army through the snow, and once on the way to a school trip, he got caught up in a major monster war. He decides to enjoy the seaside school trip to his heart's content, a true vacation from the afterlife drama. Yuna is not going. Although she still has the swimsuit, Sagiri goes to Kogarashi's room to ask him to come along, but she feels very hesitant. Kogarashi opens the door. Sagiri is trying to ask him but could not. She lies that a monster has appeared in a certain swimsuit shop, so he has to go with her, because shopping just isn't a compelling enough reason for a guy like him. The next day after school, Urara Urakata introduces herself to Kogarashi, whom she is meeting for the first time. Kogarashi asks her about the monster. Urara has no idea about it, but she realizes that this is one of Sagiri's lies, so she doesn't mention the matter to him. They go to the swimsuit shop. Urara starts to shop normally, which surprises him. Urara comes up with an excuse for that thing, that if they do an obvious search, the monster will be on guard. So instead, they must pretend to have a good time shopping, the ultimate monster hunting disguise. Sagiri realizes she is surely a smooth talker. Anyways, she goes to the changing room. She feels shy, but she knows at the seaside school, everyone will see her exposed, so she should not be shy about exposing herself to Kogarashi. She changes and goes out. Her swimsuit feels like she is a prisoner. Kogarashi also doesn't approve of her boring swimsuit. She then changes into another swimsuit, but Urara doesn't like it again. She brings another one with a tube top. She keeps on rejecting the swimsuits. Sagiri tries different swimsuits that are very revealing, which makes Kogarashi even avoid eye contact. Urara tells her that they need need to be much more aggressive if she doesn't want to be ashamed in front of everyone. Her spirit seems so high. Urara goes inside the changing room so that she can make Sagiri more aggressive. She gets her into a very revealing swimsuit so that they can be the center of attention. Kogarashi thinks it is so aggressive. Sagiri goes inside the changing room to change again. She decides to go with the school swimsuit after all, because trying on various swimsuits reminded her that her body is trained for battles. So naturally, a cute swimsuit wouldn't look good on her, because ninjas don't wear polka dots. Urara gets angry after listening to her. She grabs her chest to show her how big it is. She knows Sagiri has a great body. She is sure that if she had Sagiri's body, she could choose any man she wanted. She cannot get enough of touching her body. They both fall on the ground. Kogarashi thinks a monster came in. The one Sagiri lied about was finally here, so without holding back, he goes inside the changing room and sees a strange scene of both of them on each other half naked. Sagiri yells at him for opening the curtains without their permission. Later, going back home, Kogarashi has realized that the business about a monster was a lie. He tells him that he would have gone with them if it was just shopping because he is looking forward to the seaside school too. Urara finds Kogarashi to be a nice guy, so she tells him to make a woman out of Sagiri, which would expand the range of missions she could undertake too. After Urara left, he asks Sagiri about the swimsuit she ended up buying. After they reach home, Sagiri is trying that swimsuit on her. She bought the same one which Kogarashi liked on her. Finally, the day of seaside school for the Yukamori High School first years came. Everyone is sitting inside the bus. Yuna is also along with Kogarashi and is talking to Miyazaki. A girl sitting next to Miyazaki in the bus is Seta Yanazawa, who sees the pen is actually moving, which means there is really a ghost. They reach near the sea. Kogarashi and Yuna are very happy seeing it. On the other hand, Sagiri and Urara are at the sea. Sagiri is doing exercises when Urara informs her about the recent rumors of a monster present here. She asks Sagiri to investigate about it, but Sagiri is worried about everyone staring at her, which makes her think that maybe she is not looking good. Urara starts shouting at her for always thinking negatively. All the boys start staring at Miyazaki, who arrives there. Sagiri is stunned to see Miyazaki wearing a swimsuit with a floral print without caring about people. They all gather together. They have rented a beach boat, so they all decide to ride it together. All of them go into the water and start having fun. Kogarashi asks Urara about the rumor of the monster. She tells them that the story goes that slimy tentacles suddenly reach out. Suddenly, Miyazaki feels something slimy brushed against her. Urara continues to tell them that the monster pulls swimsuits off women. Suddenly, Miyazaki's swimsuit is torn apart by the monster. Being naked, she hugs Kogarashi so that Satoshi cannot see her. Although Satoshi is dying to get a peek, like a thirsty pirate, they are all grabbed in tiny tentacles. Sagiri and Kogarashi cut off the tentacles. Soon, they learn it is a hydra eel and will keep regenerating. They have to strike its body at the base of the tentacles, but it is probably 300 meters below at the bottom of the sea. Kogarashi tells them to leave the monster to him. Saying that, he jumps in the water. The monster rips their clothes because apparently it has no manners. Meanwhile, Kogarashi reaches the bottom and hits the monster, saving everyone. They are happy that they are saved. After getting out of the sea, Miyazaki narrates the story to other classmates, but they do not believe Miyazaki. Later, Miyazaki goes to Sagiri and others to ask them to help her in making everyone believe that Kogarashi is a spirit medium. She thinks the test of courage they are doing at night will be a good chance. Miyazaki has made up a plan for the night. They will have Yuna scare the girl who is paired up with Kogarashi. Then Sagiri and Urara will use their ninja skills to summon a monster. Next, the girl will witness Kogarashi beating up the monster. After that, she and Sari will spread the story to everyone. Everyone likes her plan. Urara finds it fun to do. As the night occurs, the test of courage begins. They make pairs randomly. Kogarashi randomly chooses Miyazaki out of all the people. Miyazaki gets worried because she knows there is no point in her seeing Kogarashi's powers. Every student gets their partner, and the test begins. Miyazaki participated just because she wanted to spread the story, but it ended the other way. She suddenly realizes that the pair behind them just has to witness what happens. Miyazaki falls on the ground. She has twisted her foot. Kogarashi carries her on his back. She was thinking of stalling them until the next pair came into sight, but her plan got messed up. She suddenly sees a ghost, which is basically Yuna, but she doesn't know and starts screaming. Yuna popped out because she was so scared being alone in a dark place like this where a ghost could come, forgetting the fact that she is also a ghost. She sits with the two of them. The next pair passes by there. Urara makes up her mind to see how strong Kogarashi is by making him fight with the Urakata family's most powerful servant spirit. She takes out her Shikigami. Sagiri tries to stop her from planning such things, but she herself falls from the tree branch onto Kogarashi's face, proving gravity is the ultimate ninja foe. Sagiri shouts in embarrassment. Suddenly, they hear some noise from the other side. They see a tornado-like thing on the other side, which leave their mouths open in wonder. Ashita and Beshu are on their way when Ashita kicks over a rock. A monster appears there, who thanks them because they were able to awaken it from its long slumber. As a reward, it decides to make them a part of him. Before he could swallow them, Kogarashi saves both of them by blocking its attack. The monster decides to simply devour Kogarashi's arm, with which he blocked the hit. The monster's fangs start breaking after trying to devour his arm. Everyone is watching watching Kogarashi. Kogarashi sits on the ground and apologizes to the monster because it was sleeping but got woken up, which stuns everyone because they were waiting for an intense fight. The monster realizes Kogarashi is equal to the woman who sealed it away or even more powerful. The monster thinks it would be better to be sealed away again without a fuss than to battle him. The monster goes back to where it was before, and in this way, the matter gets sorted out without any battle. After everything is sorted out, they get on their way back. Miyazaki informs him of everything they planned, but Kogarashi is not too bothered by people who do not believe him because he believes it is fine as long as he has Miyazaki, who believes in him. Miyazaki goes to hug him but twists her foot, which again leads to something vulgar as he accidentally grabs her chest again because that's just his luck. Later, the girls go in the open-air hot spring with a marvelous view. Everyone is enjoying the bath with an amazing view. On the other side, there is the men's bath. After getting free from the hot spring bath, they decide to hang out in the girls' room. Yuna always longed for that true school trip where the boys sneak into the girls' room to hang out. Late at night, the teachers are guarding the hallway, so the boys have still not come into the girls' room. The girls are playing cards together. Kogarashi climbed up the outside wall and comes in through the window. He was once possessed by the spirit of a rock climber, so it made the climbing thing easy for Kogarashi. They begin playing cards again. Satoshi is wondering about Yuna's appearance. Urara takes advantage of him not being able to see Yuna, so she lies that Yuna's in front of him right now, stark raving naked. It makes him crave to see her stark raving naked. He starts trying to wake up his spirit sense so that he can see Yuna and enjoy it. Suddenly, the patrolling teacher knocks on the door. The two of them hide under a nearby futon and they turn off the light. Three of the girls accidentally went under the same futon as Kogarashi. Yuna can even hear his heartbeat. This is the first time they've been smooshed together for so long, so she cannot take it anymore and was about to get up, but he hugs her tightly so that the patrolling teacher could not notice anything. Still, the patrolling teacher notices the futon, which is the only one that is bulging oddly. Kogarashi is squeezing her tightly. It causes Yuna's poltergeist power to activate and everything starts to fly. Kogarashi immediately grabs Satoshi and jumps from the window. They all turn on the light, telling the teacher that they just planned to surprise her. The second day of Seaside School, they go to the aquarium, where Ashita comes to Kogarashi to know if he has asked Miyazaki. After knowing he has not asked her yet, Ashita gets happy that he can dance with her. At night, the students are dancing in a circle near the bonfire. Yuna is enjoying it too much just by watching it. Kogarashi realizes that she wants to dance too. The couple dance begins in a while. Kogarashi is dancing with Yuna without caring about his reputation. Every student is wondering what Kogarashi is doing, and so the Seaside School came to an end for Kogarashi and the rest. After they return to their home, they begin studying for their finals next week. Oboro comes to tutor Yaya in classical literature as she asked her. Anyways, she sits behind Kogarashi and takes off her shirt and starts rubbing her chest on his back. She tells him not to pay attention to what she is doing. Instead, he must just concentrate on his studies, which is absolutely impossible for any normal human. On the other hand, Yuna is going to cook study snacks for Kogarashi because he has always been helping her. Oboro goes to Koyuzu and asks her about the spell that can get Kogarashi in the mood. Koyuzu knows she can concoct a potion that she learned from her village, which is basically a love potion. On the other hand, they are still studying hard. Nonko comes there in a swimsuit because it is too hot. Kogarashi yells at her, telling her to put on clothes, but just because of him, she put on a swimsuit because last year she went full nude. Nonko starts licking the ice cream and disturbs them from studying. Chichose is also studying for her exams in the storage room so that no one can get to know about it. She could not even ask anyone to tutor her because in this way, they would know about her going to school. Yuna makes the dish for Kogarashi and the others who are studying. Koyuzu takes the dish from her so that she can add the love potion into it. Koyuzu tells Oboro to make sure to make eye contact with Kogarashi when he eats the shaved ice. While Oboro is taking the shaved ice to them, Nonko stops her and grabs one of the bowls, but she prevents her from eating. Nonko puts back the bowl and Oboro takes the green tea shaved ice to them. She has a feeling that the bowls have been shuffled around. She gives the love potion bowl to Kogarashi. As they all begin eating, she makes eye contact with him. She sees no change in Kogarashi, which makes her realize that the dishes were actually switched around. She feels no change in the behavior of others too. She goes out of the room wondering why nothing changed. After finishing their snacks, they begin to study again. Sagiri is acting strangely. Kogarashi starts looking dazzling to her. She remembers Urara told her that she liked Kogarashi, but she denied it. She cannot believe what Urara said could be true. Kogarashi is the only thing going on in her mind. Her face is turning red as an apple. Kogarashi checks if she has a summer cold, but she gets mad at him for even touching her. She has no clue why she is acting that way. She opens the buttons of her shirt to let him see if she is feminine or not. Before she could take off her undergarment, he stops her. Sagiri wonders what she is saying in front of Yaya, but she feels so helpless. Kogarashi tells her that she is cute. She hugs him tightly. Sagiri starts squeezing him like a tube of toothpaste. Yuna is seeing what is happening inside the study room and cannot believe it. Oboro tells her the truth about the love potion, which Sagiri drank instead of Kogarashi. Moments later, Sagiri comes back to her senses and starts wondering what she is doing. After Yaya has finished studying, Chitose comes there to her. They were all busy before, so no one noticed Kogarashi and Sagiri, but as they get free, they wonder what they have been doing. Sagiri locks herself in the room because of embarrassment. Kogarashi is trying to assure her that he is not upset so that she can come outside, but she is not listening to anyone. Sagiri knows she was at the mercy of that love potion, but she still came off as such an an amateur, which makes her so embarrassed. Yuna wakes up sharing a futon with Kogarashi again. Kogarashi, still asleep, is pressing her chest. When he presses her other chest, she kicks him out into the river again. The scene changes to some time later when Koyuzu and others have packed their bags. Koyuzu is going for a sleepover at Miyazaki's place. Sagiri is going back to her village while Yaya is going back to her home. Chitose, meanwhile, has been sponsored for another trip by the Hot Spring Association. Yuna is sad to see them leaving. Nanko and others bid them farewell. Nanko receives a call with the bad news that her assistant is sick, so she needs to finish the manuscript alone. She asks the others if they would help her. She promises them that as thanks she will take all of them to a great place. They helped her, and as a result she took them to a beach. Nanko has rented a vacation home in such a beautiful place. While they are enjoying themselves, Oboro comes out after picking up a swimsuit that everyone is talking about. She is wearing a swimsuit with less material, hoping it would arouse Kogarashi's feelings like a magical fishing lure. They are all stunned to see her in that swimsuit, so she goes and changes. Later, as Nanko is lying on her stomach, she asks Kogarashi to rub sun oil on her. Kogarashi gives a funny reaction. After seeing her childlike face, he finally agrees to give her a sun oil massage. She starts making weird noises on purpose, which annoys him. Oboro asks him to rub it on her next. Kogarashi starts rubbing it, which feels very pleasant to Oboro. She asks him to put some oil on the front too. He refuses to put it on the front, so Oboro starts rubbing the oil on her front herself. He wonders if Oboro even knows what sun oil is for, or if she thinks it's a love potion for the skin. Yuna is thinking about something, and Nanko guesses she wants him to rub some oil on her. Kogarashi rubs some on her too, and she is enjoying it so much. Nanko is making weird noises on Yuna's behalf, which annoys him. He mistakenly puts his hand on her underwear, which causes her to fly into a rage, and she punches him. He goes high in the sky. In the skies, he sees another ghost standing alone to the side. Later, after they all get inside the house, he tells everyone about it. Nanko tells them that there is a legend about the ghost he saw on the Cape, which is a sad love story. She informs them that a long time ago, there was a girl who was being pushed into a marriage of convenience, so she tried to elope with her true sweetheart. They promised to meet at the Cape before running away, but the boyfriend never showed up. He died in an accident while driving to the Cape to meet her. As if to chase after him, the girl jumped off the cliff so she could be with him, but even now, she continues to wait there, waiting for him to pick her up. Being unable to meet her boyfriend is her lingering regret, which is so sad. Kogarashi decided to have her meet with her lover. He and Yuna go to the ghost, and the ghost is surprised that he can see her. Kogarashi introduces himself to the ghost, whose name is Ami. She feels good to hear them because it has been so long since someone has called out to her. Kogarashi asks her if she might be able to ascend if she is reunited with her boyfriend. She shows them her boyfriend Yasuhisa on the other side, but she cannot leave the spot to meet him because she is a bound ghost. If she could fly away from here, then she could go over to Yasuhisa. Yuna and Kogarashi go to Yasuhisa on the roadside. Yuna asks him if he is a bound ghost, but is shocked to learn that he is scared. Ami is mad at him, which is the reason he is stuck. He remembers the day he died. He only had the thought of eloping with her in his mind. He made a mistake on the road and fell into the sea. Ami tried to rescue him and jumped in and died because of him. Kogarashi tells him that he can go if he wants, but if neither of them can ascend, then they could both become evil spirits. He wonders how he can apologize to her and look her in the eyes. Kogarashi and Yuna go back, wondering if it is okay to make them meet. Yuna can feel their pain as they are alone and unable to talk to anyone, so she thinks if someone does not give them an encouraging push, then they will just stay like this forever. Kogarashi decides to try what he can for them. They again go to Yasuhisa and tell him that he got late to meet Ami because now he is going to perform a forced ascension on her. Yasuhisa tries to stop them, but Kogarashi is leaving from there. He cannot move because he is still scared to look in the eyes of Ami, but not being able to see her forever saddens him more. Kogarashi goes to Ami and informs her that he threatened Yasuhisa with her forced ascension. She thinks that this also doesn't work unless she sees Yasuhisa hiding behind a tree. She runs to him. Instead of hugging him, she starts punching him hard. She keeps on punching him because he didn't come earlier. She yells at him to think how she felt all these years waiting. He hugs her tightly and starts crying because she waited for an idiot like him all these years. Something magical starts happening there. Their spirits ascend to heaven together, where they are going to stay forever. Their lingering regret was resolved, which makes Yuna too happy. Yuna and Kogarashi are standing in the fireworks. It has been half a year since they have been together. He thought he could figure out what her lingering regret was while they were together, but he could not. He asks her to tell him about the time when she was alive. On the other hand, Oboro and Nanko are talking with each other. Oboro learns that Yuna can turn into a spiritual body at will and cause a powerful poltergeist phenomenon. She thinks Yuna must have been a mighty spirit medium when she was alive. The story goes back to the place where Yuna and Kogarashi are present. She apologizes to him because she doesn't remember anything about the time when she was alive. Her earliest memory is waking up at Yuragi Inn in that room, and she doesn't even remember who she was. Chitose found her there. The proprietress at the time gave her the name Yuna Yunahana. All the ghosts he has encountered were only focused on their lingering regret, and many of them were anxious to tell him what they were like when they were alive, but compared to them, she never talked about her pre-ghost life. Yuna is so happy with her current life with everyone she is living, so she doesn't even know what lingering regret she could possibly have. The scene changes to a dream of Kogarashi, where he sees Yuna is given the punishment of hell. He tries to save Yuna from hell and grabs her hand, but as soon as he wakes up, he finds himself grabbed grabbing her chest. Yuna kicks him out into the river. This time, Yuna goes to save him. He grabs Yuna's hand tightly. They both make their way out of the river. She apologizes to him for keep on doing this thing every morning, however. For some reason, mornings like this make her happy too. After listening to her, he remembers the time when he promised her to make sure she becomes happy. He splashed water on her face, and Yuna also does the same in return. He decides not to let Yuna become an evil spirit until the day she ascends. He decides to stay by her side. The story ends when only a few days of summer vacation were left. It has been a while, but the residents of Yuragi Inn enjoyed a morning bath together. While they are enjoying themselves, Kogarashi falls inside the bath and disturbs their space. Immediately, Yuna comes to them trying to clarify that she again did that to Kogarashi while she was half asleep. Every one of them beats Kogarashi, but now Kogarashi also doesn't think these mornings are bad, which is probably why he hasn't moved rooms yet.